This doesn't feel right. I'm recording I'm touching the camera and it's on me still somehow. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today, wow, this feels weird. I'm vlogging. I'm actually doing it myself. I've got the camera in my hand, doing it for myself. I'm working. I'm working. I'm doing work. I am working and not playing. I'm working. All right, take 69. We're already on like 1,000 takes here, literally. I haven't vlogged for myself in a while, actually, and done it on my own. Talked face to face to the camera. This is already taken forever. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today, man, this feels weird. I'm actually like holding a camera myself and like there's nobody out here, and it's just me and the camera, which I might as well say that actually might be like a blessing in disguise, because it's just me and the camera and all the trees. And trees are technically living, so they're technically watching. That's a little uncomforting to think of.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In today's video, I just want to say I'm back on YouTube. I think it'd be kind of awkward if I just started posting videos and never really went over things and just never gave an explanation, just kind of said, I'm back, baby, and just came on back. So that'd be kind of weird. Unfortunately, Max was unable to record today, so it's just me and the camera. Isn't this like what all the YouTubers that vlog like this do? They always got their hands up, pointing at the camera and stuff. And that's kind of like my thing too, is always just like. So basically today I just want to go over, you know, everything on YouTube this year, 2023 as a whole. It's hard to think that we're already going into 2024. Like, it feels like it's still 2019, to be honest with you. And that's actually when I came back to YouTube full time and actually started doing this crap like religiously, actually like doing it and whatnot. Now this year's been a little bit inconsistent, but overall it hasn't been too bad of a year. You got to look at the plus sides. I mean, my RC car collection got built up. I'll give a rundown of that real quick. The Rock Ray, I had to tear the entire thing apart just to find out a bearing about that small exploded in, I believe it was the front or the rear diff, one or the other. It exploded in the diff and luckily did not break any of the gears. I had the guy at the hobby shop tell me that I should buy a lottery ticket because that's how lucky I am. I should buy a lottery ticket, shouldn't I?
Well, duh.
I'm reassembling the thing. The servo needs fully reassembled on it, and that's the problem. This is where I've been held up at. Like, it's just been so discouraging because I had a little thing. There's a heron over there. Man, I think I have like ADHD or something. Yeah, so problem with that is the servo. It is super complex garbage. I mean, I ripped apart, and when I say I ripped apart the entire RC car, I'm not being over dramatic, okay? I literally ripped apart the entire RC car, piece by piece, because I didn't know the problem. It was making such a weird sound, and it makes sense now. A bearing exploded. I believe it was in the front diff it exploded on. So I had to get that replaced, which was such a cheap fix. And so, you know, that's lucky. A lot of these things to replace are actually pretty cheap, to be honest with you. So that's always a plus. But so right now I'm reassembling the whole thing. I'm on the servo, and that's like really holding me up right now. It's like, it's just not making sense how it all goes into place. It's a mess. The Typhon, I have a pre-recorded video coming out on the Typhon. So I'm doing the finger pointing again. I got a pre-recorded video on the Typhon coming out. It was probably one of my craziest RC car videos. Yeah, I'm filing for bankruptcy. I forgot to tell you guys that.
What?
The XRT, I got that thing all fixed up. I had no clue what was wrong with it. It honestly sounded like out of nowhere one of the gears just stripped, and I'm just like, classical Neil running through another set of gears. I rip the thing apart, and it's the bearings are all seized up. So I'm like, all right, let's just get a bearing kit. So I got to the hobby shop. They're like, we'll order you in a bearing kit, and we'll give you a call. They didn't call me, so I just ordered my own bearing kit and threw it in the rear, and hopefully that works now. The X-Max You know, I got a gearing upgrade on that because it's just not fast enough. It's just really not fast enough. My X-Max has like a problem with power. Like, if it's not popping wheelies, that's a problem. I told them that at the hobby shop. So they gave me a gearing upgrade, so I upgraded the gearing on that. So we'll see about that. And I'm also sad to say, because I really like them, I'm done with the Badland bead locks. Like, honestly, they're such good tires. Like, they hook and book, okay? Like, they're incredible tires, but they're too heavy, and they just rip apart my gears. It's just too much on an RC car. It's like, they're probably like some of the heaviest tires you can get for a 6th scale RC car, 5th scale RC car. And overall, I really like the tires, but they're just too heavy, man. Like, I can't keep breaking stuff. Like, I'm trying to film YouTube videos here, not constantly break stuff. So that's the collection at the moment. Oh yeah, and then the 100-mile-an-hour RC car. That thing is just controversial at this point. Guys, look, I'm gonna say it one last time. I'm not saying with the gearing that I have in mind, it is gonna go 100 miles an hour. What I said, if you guys listen, well, the real viewers, the ones that watched the original video, watched it fully through, not even fully through, if you watched the beginning of the video, you would know I said in there, the guy said if you get the right gearing in it, there are people that get that set up to 100 miles an hour. This thing, allegedly, from what I'm being told, can go up to 100 miles an hour with the right gearing. With the gearing it has in right now, if I had to take a guess, it probably goes 85 maybe, but that would make it my fastest RC car. With the right gearing. But I'm telling you right now, from the power of that RC car and just how it feels, and it's still running decently cool, I gotta say it's probably got 100 in it. But with the gearing I have in it right now, it's probably got 85, 90, I'm assuming. With the gearing it has in right now, if I had to take a guess, it probably goes 85 maybe. So I am not saying that with the gearing it has in it, it'll go 100. People are like, have you got it to 100? People are asking about it. People want to see a speed run. I'm trying to satisfy, okay? I'm gonna do an off-road, little bit of a pull just to show what type of power it has, because I don't think I've been quite fair about that. I think I've just kind of said, oh, it's got all this power, because I can feel it. You guys through the camera can't feel it. All is you're just, you know, you're just seeing it. So I just took it around here and ripped right, but I have a little bit of a woods update in today's video because it's been a while and me and Max actually got to work up here and got some stuff done. And I did make a spot that I think this could be a disaster waiting to happen. So just clip this because this honestly could be a disaster waiting to happen. Oh shoot, I'm not gonna escape that. I actually have to explain why I haven't really been on YouTube. So this year hasn't necessarily been like the greatest year for me. I'm not gonna get into everything. I don't care to like go on, but I'm not trying to talk you guys to sleep. But long story short, it just hasn't been the greatest year for me. I wanted to come back in October, and I actually ended up getting extremely busy with like other stuff I do off camera, and I just got super busy with that. And just overall, it just hasn't been the greatest year for me, but I look at all the plus sides. Like, it's hard for me to say that this was just a bad year as a whole when you look at all the plus sides too. And it's like, well, you know what, this is a good year. In life, you can't always sit there and look at the bad stuff. You gotta look at the good stuff too. And I gotta look at all the goods in the year. There's so much goods this year, but you know, there's been a lot of bad too. And has that restrained me from YouTube a little bit? Yeah, but another thing is like I've been super busy. So when you're out working all day, guys, you get home, sometimes you just want to unwind a little bit. And especially with how it was, you know, in November and whatnot, you get home, it's dark. You go out, it's light, you get home, it's dark. And for RC car videos, that's not really good. So I really did have an excuse. And honestly, towards like December and whatnot, I've been actually in a hospital recently. Not myself, not that you guys really care. But not myself has been in the hospital, but somebody in my family's been in the hospital too. So I've been going up to the hospital a lot too to visit with them. So that's, again, I've had time. So what I did was I was like, okay, October things, I wanted to honestly come back in October, but you know, things kind of just crashed for me. So I'm like, you know what, let's take a breather. So I then decided in the middle of November, I was ready to come back. So what I did was I was like to Max, I said to him, I said, man, I'm ready to come back to YouTube, but the RC car videos, it just doesn't feel like I'm ready for it. Like, it's honestly, it's hard to say. I don't want to sit there and be like that type of person. It's like, I'm not ready for it. But when you're out of that flow, it's really hard to just get back into it. Like, it is so hard. Like, right now, my plan is to post every other day, and it's hard just to pump back into that rhythm, you know, just going into something completely different. So my plan was, I was like, let's start posting some vlogs, because I have a lot of pre-recorded vlogs, and let's ease myself back into YouTube. Well, I start posting on the vlog channel, that's just taken off. Okay, we're already at like 600 subscribers at the time of recording this, so thank you for everyone that's been watching that. So I decided, I'm like, okay, it's been eased into, I'm ready to come back on the main channel. So here we are now, I'm ready to come back on the main channel. I did come back in August, and I had such a great month in August. It was my greatest month on YouTube, to be honest. As a whole, in 2023, see, it's hard to even think of the year. It's in 2023, I got 2 million views and thousands of subscribers. So thank you out to everyone that's been watching the content, supporting me, and thank you to everyone that's been helping out with the RC cars. So anytime like an RC car has been broken or I need help with something, there's always someone that's willing to help me. So I appreciate that, everyone, and I appreciate everybody for watching the content. This is because of everybody that watches the videos, likes it, and subscribes. That's why I get out there. I just go out, you know, Max does the dirty work, records for me. I get the vibe someone's watching me. Don't you hate that vibe? Anyhow, what was I saying? Max does the dirty work. He gets out there, he records for me, and I just go have fun. You know, that's the thing with the RC cars. I like going having fun with it, and it's, you know, 2 hobbies at once. And this year we finally committed to just like one straight niche, and it's really, you know, been able to be successful taking off with just one niche. So hopefully this year, my goals, and I'm just gonna say I hate saying goals like this, because it's like, who knows if it's gonna happen, but then again, you just never know. So I'm gonna just say my goals. My goals this year on the main channel here are 10K subscribers. Let's roll with maybe 5 million views. 10K subs, 5 million views. Not gaining 10K subs, but I want to gain 5 million views and reach 10,000 subscribers. That's like been my honest, like, just goal on YouTube since I got them. Like, 10K subs, 10K subs, 10K, because that's like your first, like, you have these milestones. It's when you first, you know, get on YouTube, it's like you're 10 subscribers. Oh my God, 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers, 500 subscribers. Like, okay, then you're at 1,000 subscribers. It's like, okay. Then you hit 5,000 subscribers and you're like, okay, so 10,000's possible. Then you reach 10,000 and it's like 50,000. Then you're at like 50,000, like, okay, 100,000. So now I can get a play button. And then at 100,000, you're like 500,000. Then at 500,000, you're thinking 1 million. And then at 1 million, you're thinking 10 million. And then at 10 million, you're thinking 50 million. And then at 50 million, you're thinking 100 million. Then at 100 million, you're thinking 500 million. And at 500 million, you're probably thinking about 1 billion. And then 1 billion, you're probably thinking 500 billion. And then there's not even that many people in the world. So it's like, how could you even get that? Woods update. Look at the creek. I just want to point out the creek today. Look at that. Completely crystal clear. It is never that clear. They must have purified the water. They must have thrown some chlorine in there. They've been known to do that. If you want to know who I'm talking about, Sasquatch. Like, there's literally a family of Sasquatch that live out here. I mean, I don't make the rules, I just follow them. So up here, I was gonna weed whack this down, but again, busy. It's just, it just hasn't been in me at the moment. But like right now, I feel motivated. I'm gonna push through on YouTube, and this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna do YouTube. You know what? Right now, I'm just motivated towards it, and there's just not really a reason, you know, not to be. It's going out and doing what I love. Thinking, I used to sit down thinking, okay, well, I just need to take a break. Well, it's like, well, when I take a break, you're just left in your own thoughts. I'm honestly, I think, more happier if I'm out doing YouTube. That's honestly, I think I'm more happier if I'm out doing YouTube. So it's easier to convince yourself, guys, that you're burnt out, or your mental health's not that great right now, or this, that, or the other. And it's not that I was burnt out. I don't really like that saying. I'm not burnt out. But it's just more or less of the nature of people think that, oh, well, you know, maybe I just need a break. And for some people, that might be true. But for me, I really like YouTube. I love YouTube. I love the RC cars. I love being out here with my brother. I love the woods. That's just what it is. So this is what's good for me, to be honest with you. to where, you know, some people might not want it. Some people might want, you know, to take a break. Some people might need that. But for me, I think it's better for me if I'm out posting videos consistently. And that's what's best for me, to be honest with you. So anyhow, so going on, move this. I was gonna weed whack this, but it's like, it seems like the creek has actually raised, gone over here and flattened this. But this has been weed whacked down a few times this year. It hasn't needed it that much. But the nice thing about it is it's weed whacked so much more down than it was last year, to where last year this was undrivable in the winter. It was terrible. Even in the summer, it was undrivable basically. Over there, this has been weed whacked literally only 2 or 3 times and is like not grown at all since. So up here is where, you know, you guys are gonna get excited because of the potential speed run. What I plan on doing, here's a little jump through here too. What I plan on doing is there was all sorts of brush here, which we then took the brush and disposed of it over there in the pile over there. Don't worry, the mud pit filled up with water. The brush is not going anywhere. And what we're gonna do is see stuff like this. When you have piles of brush, when the creek gets high, because the creek was seriously up to here, because you can see. So all this debris from the creek gets pushed up against the stuff that wasn't cut out. So then that makes more of a mess. So this is why it needs to be clean through here, because if it's not clean, you're gonna have more of a mess when that creek goes up. So we were cutting, the chain got dull, and it started like smoke in the woods, so we're gonna have to work on that. Major bag alert. All this crap needs to go, and what I'm gonna do is hopefully start over there. This is my goal. I'm gonna start down there, and I'm gonna just drive, kind of ease it, and then right when I get to here, just jam it. And there was a tree in the way over there, but we did remove some brush and like a tree, because there was a bush in there too that was honestly mad ugly, to be honest with you. Over here, not much has happened. Colton mentioned, he's like, man, we gotta scrape out this hill again. And honestly, I seen it happening because we were like pushing up sand, scraping it down, and this is still in actually pretty good condition. This is like my favorite jump. I haven't taken the Typhon back here yet. Can you believe that? I haven't even taken the Typhon back on this yet. That'll be awesome to hit that with the Typhon. So that's my goal, hit it with the Typhon hopefully here soon. But nothing much has gone over here, to be honest with you. That hill climb, we had a tree removed. We just pushed the tree over there. When my neighbor came over, Colton's grandpap actually, he cut down the tree and just pushed it over, which I was fine with. We just all pushed it over at the time. But this is a good hill climb, so that's gonna have to go eventually. But for the meantime, at that point in time, that was perfectly fine. I'm also gonna want to, yeah, this is gonna need cut. This thing is like, it gives me anxiety. And it looks like this has already been cut. That's strange, because that was not done by me. I don't know why anybody else would be back here cutting things. So yeah, this thing has been a thorn in my side. I might remove this whole tree because it's honestly a risk. I mean, you can see it's pulling out of the hill, and when I step on this, look, the entire tree is like about to fall, and it's like dying too. It's literally dying. So I might take that down. I don't know. But at the moment, this is gonna go. This like stupid branch thingy coming out, that's gonna have to go, because my RC cars would come up for the hill and they get wedged under this, and that gives me anxiety. So we're not gonna do that. I want this hill cleared out completely. Right up here, I think in the summers, a lot of it actually does get to be poison ivy. But what I'm gonna have to do is weed whack this down, and what I'm gonna do is, I don't think I'm gonna fuss with anything else minus just this hill, and weed whack that down. It's got a lot of this, what we call bamboo, and this stuff is just a pain in the rear end to deal with when it's like springtime, June. I mean, all it wants to do is just come up, and that's what it used to originally be. Actually, all through here was just that bamboo stuff. And if you remember last winter, this was completely unusable. I mean, it was completely unusable through here because that bamboo stuff. So over here, this whole hill will get cleared off, because there's some good hill climbs through here, especially down this way. You just got to worry about rolling back into the creek. But right now, I wouldn't be too concerned with how the creek level is, but there are some trees to be concerned about. But if you hit it right here, it should be fine. And it's actually extremely steep. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but it's like straight up and down at the top. So that'd be good for the Rock Ray. That'd even be good for the XRT, the X-Max and whatnot. Which, speaking of those, I've got some new tires that I'm going to be trying out with those too, so stay tuned for that. I got a trench. This one's a little embarrassing. Me and Max, seen right here that it got soupy. And we seen like June, it was dry out and it stayed soupy just in this one spot. So me and Max were like, man, if we just dig this out, it'll fill up and become a mud bog, right? That's what we were thinking. We did it, and it's solid. It's solid. And yeah, now we're just left with this, that, and that. I'm just gonna call it a day since it's like soupy sand. Just fill it back in because the ground looks like it was barely dug into. Me and Max did dig a lot into it. The sand just reformed back in there, but it was a good idea. Then we started thinking, oh, well, what if we took like buckets or something, brought it over to the, you know, swamp here, the mud bog, and when we're ready to do mud bogging, just take the creek water and dump it in. But it's like, that's just, nah, man, it ain't gonna really work. It just sinks down in, and if you actually look, the water follows a little bit of a path here and goes down this little crevice here. And it goes down and floods out to the creek, as you can see, floods out to the creek. So yeah, and then another hill climb eventually, since, you know, the outcast just dominates everything. Down that way, you'll see a literal cliff. And that is what I will be doing to my RC cars. Yeah, throwing it off a cliff for views.
What?
Which actually, if you think about it, I could jump it. I'm doing this. If I clear out a straight spot going straight back, I can literally jump it over the creek. I actually, spoiler alert, I planned on potentially down that way. I was gonna like clear it out on the other side of the creek, since it's actually pretty clear that way. I just have to weed whack it. I was gonna like weed whack it, get a ramp, and jump the creek. I'm not saying I was gonna, like this was like a previous idea and it just failed. Like, no, this is an idea in the making. So that's a literal potential idea. I think I brought it up to Max a few times and it's just like, he's like, man, you're crazy. So, but that would be even sicker if I jumped it from there over, because it would make it, right? If it doesn't make it, that's just like $1,000. Like, it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, right? I don't think it matters that much. So coming through here, I plan on doing a speed run through here. This had to go, this bush, that was hacked down with an axe, but not to the ground. So that hasn't really been fussed with that much, to be honest with you. Over here, we had a bush, and actually it's growing back. Dude, that bush is so annoying and ugly. So this is a work in progress. We've been working on it down through here. This needs to get weed whacked, cleaned up a little bit more. Weed whacked down. This needs to get cut. This already got cut down, sorry. That got cut down. That got cut down. And we still need to chop up, because when the tree fell, it fell from there over. And what I was doing was chopping it up into pieces. So then here, obviously, which is obviously what you have to do. So it fell over here, and I still have to chop it up into more pieces and take it to the brush pile. Me and Max just got preoccupied with a few other things in the woods. We still have the straight shooter path, which has not really been touched much because has not been used much. Just going straight to connect to our, you know, trail right through there. We actually mainly take the trail up through there. So walking down this way, me and Colton tried to weed whack this down, but that didn't really like pan out that much because the bamboo was all the way high up. So we were just like, that's a lost cause. So I then actually took the pole saw. I took a pole saw and literally started going side to side, and it actually started working. It's just so like time consuming, and I think what we need to do is get the head of this out of the way, honestly, and then the springtime just upkeep with it. But we already have so much upkeep. I mean, you can see on their side of the creek, the grass is all dead. Over on this side, we have a live grass because we've literally like kept up with it. I just have a green thumb, so like, you know, when I do stuff like this, when I weed whack, when I touch grass like this, even if I'm trying to kill it, it will not die. Like, I took this crap, all of it, I took it to the ground, and it was 90 degrees. I remember it was like 92 or something. I think even like, you know, the feels like was higher than that, like 95 or something. And I came out here and just ripped it to the ground, and it just did nothing. It did nothing. It came right back to life. Like, you do that to anybody's yard and their yard's effed, bro. I mean, all through here it's perfectly fine. Through here, it never really grew much through here. Just the deer come through and tear it up a little bit. So we have a brush pile over there. This is a work in progress. I've always had this little path going out to the creek. It actually has been proven helpful a few times. So there we go, just a little path going out to the creek. Because there's been times we've crossed the creek and ran up through here and whatnot. And it's the same original trail system that you guys would see, you know, in our update video on my biggest project yet. Link down below to that. We got this going straight over to the Dream Hill. And yeah, not much from there. Dream Hill, I mean, we had a lot of rain, so everything's like clogged up with water right now. So I'll walk back over to our other trail going through there. And another thing we tossed up actually is right here. I potentially plan on clearing this out, but as you can see, we actually have a brush pile down that way, a brush pile over this way, but right there we plan on potentially clearing that out and just making a straight shooter. But I feel like that make the Dream Hill too easy, because the nice thing about the Dream Hill, it makes it hard and difficult and entertaining, is it down there's a little bit of a cliff and you can't go up it with the RC car, so you have to hit it at an angle, and that's what makes just the Dream Hill the Dream Hill. Another thing we potentially, you know, we're talking about doing was some of the hills, we were gonna like carve them out to make them more steeper. And I also want to go through here too. There's like we call this the coyote's den because there's like a hole in here, and I always made a joke that's where the coyote in the woods lives. Right through here though, clean this up, and that giving our access to the Dream Hill and whatnot. I just call this whole area the Dream Hill in case you're new to the channel. Through there, I plan on potentially clearing that out, but again, the Dream Hill's difficult, so why not just keep it that way for the entertainment purposes? Because a lot of the hills through here are like pretty easy for the RC cars, especially the 6 scales. I haven't really tried ripping the Typhon up a lot of these yet, which I'm gonna get into trying to do that. But potentially what I was thinking about doing was taking some of these hills and like carving them out so they're a little bit steeper, you know, taking like, I don't know exactly how we would do it, but like taking like a shovel and making them steeper. I don't know about towards the top, but like try to just make the whole thing steeper so it's more difficult, because a lot of these, like the one straight across from me, it's super steep. It's like not, you can't even walk up it, but the RC car will just drive right up it because they have such a low center of gravity, and the hill's not as tall, so it's not like the Dream Hill at the construction site, the other Dream Hill I call it. And yep, there's the trail, just connects back up. So this is what I was talking about, guys, up here by the Dream Hill. Right next to it, I plan on just clearing this all out. Colton actually said he wanted to do that. But up here, when we first looked at it, this is, again, it looks so different. It was like up to here with brush and whatnot, and there was poison ivy and stuff down there. I was like, well, let's maybe, you know, get like in a hazmat suit, then do it. And then I was just like, so we didn't do it because I was waiting. We're thinking about what we wanted to do, and I was thinking, okay, well, maybe here's a good idea. What I proposed: keep the Dream Hill the Dream Hill. And I was thinking, section it off. Don't make this all cleared out, but like section, maybe like right here, clear out, because I could have a straight shot right here. So I was thinking, clear this out, and it would just be another hill climb. But I don't know how different it would be from the other ones, but at least this would be cleared out, and it would be another hill climb to do. And again, like I said, a lot of these, some of these at least, I plan on potentially carving out and making a little bit more difficult. You can make more difficult. I know a lot of them are steep as it is, but there's ways you can make it more difficult. Like for instance, what makes the Dream Hill nearly impossible sometimes to go up is how it's a curve again, and plus again how the land is too. It's hard to tell on camera, but like because of, you know, I've ripped this up a lot with the RC car. For that reason, a lot of the land, because I notice grass technically, like, is for some reason it kind of keeps it intact a little bit, but when I come up with the RC car and rip it up again, some of the dirt starts to slide out, and some of this has slid out, and I don't know if you can tell, but right there with my finger right there, it started to landslide a little bit. So that's actually going to be even more difficult. So this hill is difficult as it is, and it's going to probably become more difficult because of that, just because again, once you take the RC car over it and it rips up the grass, it then starts to get, you know, the dirt just sliding down the hill a little bit, like slowly over time with the rain. And so this hill, that's just what makes it so difficult, is you can't come straight at it, and that's what a lot of the ones are. And I used to have no run up on the hill too. That's what made it super difficult, is I had no run up. And that's, you know, what was fun about it, because you would sit here. I remember the one time sitting here for an hour the first time, and I still couldn't get up after an hour of just going up and down. And that's when we were first clearing it out and whatnot with the RC car, because we never came through with nothing to clear it out. We just came through with the RC car and kept going up and down. So those were just some ideas that I had potentially for what we were gonna zip tie. Okay, actually, I think that Colton found that and or me and Colton found that and just zip tied it. Getting a text message. You gotta love it how my phone always disrupts me one way or another every single time we record. One way or another, every single time we record, my phone finds a way to disrupt me. Like I was saying, these were just some ideas that I had. I was, had some ideas for hills and whatnot, just to keep the videos entertaining, because I've only really taken and did like a full video. It was with the 100-mile-an-hour Outcast. I took it down in through the mud pit, went through here, and I hit hill after hill after hill after hill after hill. And by the time the video was done, I even said to Max, I was like, that just demolished every single hill, and I wasn't really even trying, and it did it in very short amount of time. Because again, we don't have to worry about, we could just go straight through and record it, to where each video through here, Max would have to run up and then come over and then record and then run back around and whatnot, because he couldn't walk down this, and it's very hard to actually walk down that or even get up it, at that. And another idea me and Max wanted to do to make it easier, since our trail right there, our loop trail is right there, we're gonna potentially clear all these logs out, right? And just have a straightaway. That was honestly just for the quads. That idea was just for the quads. And me and Max walked up there and just got swarmed with a nest in there, actually, of a nest of wasps. And one of them stung Max. A ton landed on me, but they didn't sting. And I'm convinced the reason why they didn't sting is because it was nighttime and they were already like settling down for sleep. Because that's what they do. They just get like dormant towards nighttime. So I think we were very lucky. I think I probably would have gotten stung about 5 times had it not been the evening. So it was like 8 p.m. at like July or something. It was that log way back there. They were just in there. So then we came up here and sprayed them, and the family's gone. The family's gone.
What?
So there's still stuff through here that needs a little bit cleared out, but overall, it looks good. I'm happy with it. It makes the videos a lot easier to record. That's what a lot of this brush removal was for, and a lot of this stuff got removed just because it's easier to record with it. Because before, this was all just a ton of trees, and you could never just straight record the dream hill. Like, you'd have to like be ducking around trees. I mean, there's trees right there and whatnot. Comment down below if I should get an RC boat, right? Because this is now just a pond. I should get a boat. Fun fact, I actually had an idea one time to make the X-Max into like, a mud RC car. That's still in the air. It's still in the air potentially. I might do it, I don't know. But I got some new tires with those coming up here soon, so stay tuned for that. All right, everyone, so I'm losing daylight, so I guess I'll let you all go. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That was the woods update. I hope you all enjoy. Let me know, what do you think? Do I have some good ideas? If you have any ideas, let me know down in the comment section below. If any of you guys do hill climbs yourself with RC cars, I don't necessarily see it all the time on YouTube, but at least with the RC cars, I do it. If you do have any ideas, comment it down below to make it a little bit more difficult, because, I mean, especially the Outcast, it's just too easy, man. It's gonna get old just going over these. So some of them I am actually going to be upgrading and making more difficult for the RC cars. That's the plan. I also have more areas that we'll be messing around in too. And I also plan on building a ramp as well. So let me know if you think that that's a good idea too. I just can't make it too crazy big because it was already going towards the back fence, and man, I'm telling you right now, if you get that Outcast going through the air full throttle at that fence, which I already wrecked into the fence and it almost took out a panel. Same with the X-Max. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in a few days because I'm gonna be uploading a lot more consistent. Peace. I don't know why I threw the camera up like that. I have no clue what this is. I'm just walking back and I found it, and it honestly looks like something that I would have just lost, but it was on the trail, so leave it where you found it, right? Right.